The Royal Horizon Ponta Sino Hotel is located on the western coast of Africa, roughly in the equatorial zone. It is situated on the island of SAL, on the southern tip of the island. Here you can see, beautifully shown from a drone, the panorama of the entire hotel. In the foreground, there is Royal Horizon, and behind it, the Rio Hotel. But before you get to the hotel, after landing at the airport, I happen to land at night. Most tourists get to the hotel in buses like these, with such trailers. The entrance to the hotel is a roundabout where taxis arrive. There is, of course, security. The hotel has a beautiful two-story lobby with large glass windows. On one side, you can see the entrance to the hotel, and on the other, a beautiful panorama of the chill-out zone, the pools, and the entire hotel. There is air conditioning there in summer. If someone does not like the heat, they can hide there. The reception can be crowded. Tourists who arrived after a night journey wait until their rooms are prepared. To start with, an immediate tip. When you receive your hotel wristband, HB or all-inclusive, tie it the way I did, because it is a tightening type, and very, very often in the shower or during the day, it tightens more and more, and many people go to the reception to have it replaced. Leaving the reception, we enter the main hall, but more about that in a moment. As for the hotel itself, it is sprawling, beautiful, with a lot of plantings. It is simply green. You can see that the hotel owners really make an effort for it to be green, pleasant, and simply nice. And I think it is. Despite the fact that the hotel has over 500 rooms, you really do not see crowds of people in the walkways. Only in the dining hall are there quite a lot of people. The hotel has 2 sections, and it is really difficult to encounter more than a small group of a few people at the same time. The hotel has many bars. One is in the lobby, where you can get all kinds of alcohol, and everywhere you can also get proper coffee from a coffee machine. The second bar is by the third pool. It is worth thinking about it, because it is very lightly used when there are queues elsewhere. Here there usually are none. After leaving the lobby, we have the corridor I already mentioned. Walking along it, you will pass all the other important things, such as this board informing you on which day, which attractions will take place at the pool or in other hotel areas. There is a hotel ice cream shop, but it is paid separately. There are attractions such as a ping-pong table. You can play table football. At the end of the corridor, there is a place where you return or collect beach towels. And at the very end, there is the largest hotel bar. It is usually staffed by 3 to 4 bartenders. Next to this bar, there is a stage, where during the day there are various activities, such as gymnastics or yoga, and in the evening, this bar becomes the center of evening attractions, and there are evening performances, shows or animations on the stage, trying to encourage people to participate together. Sometimes an evening punch also appears at the large bar. There is quite a large seating area. Usually the parties go on until around 10 to 11 p.m. Usually by 11 p.m. nothing really happens on the stage anymore. It is relatively quiet, except perhaps on Saturdays. Another bar is the sports bar, hidden in the passage between one and the other hotel section. It is open from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. And what we find in this bar are many screens. On each one, we can turn on a different match and watch whichever sporting events we want. We also, of course, have a separate bar, we have billiards, and we have darts. In the same passage between one and the other hotel section, there are also shops with clothes and various small souvenirs. Throughout the entire hotel, only card payments are accepted. You cannot pay cash anywhere, although at the reception you can exchange euros for escudos. There is also a small but equipped gym, as well as a place for travel agency representatives including the Polish agency Ataka, where there is a book and we can check what time our departures are. The Royal Horizon Hotel has 3 beautiful large swimming pools. The first one is a sand pool. The bottom is covered with sand. As you can see here, the water is slightly darker. The second pool next to it is a swimming pool of Olympic size. Here you can see very nicely how large these 2 pools are. From the pools there is a nice panorama of the ocean and the beach. The third pool is located between the buildings. These are distinguished buildings that have direct access to this pool. This is what it looks like from above. The pools also look very good at night because they are beautifully lit, and supposedly they can be heated, but unfortunately I didn't experience that. As for sun loungers, the hotel is sort of divided into 2 zones. Looking toward the sea, all the loungers on the right-hand side, like the ones we see here, are free because it is windy there. Meanwhile, everything on the other side, the left side of the hotel, even there under that plexiglass wall that protects from the wind, everything is occupied already from the morning. Once we went to the gym at 7 a.m. and towels were lying everywhere. The hotel has room buildings located on the right and left sides. As you can see, some of these buildings have their own private pools. At first, we were assigned to a building that turned out to be quite noisy. That is, noise from the stage reaches there, which is located here. I remind you that we arrived at night. We asked for a change of building. The next day, we received this room with a greater privilege because we were accommodated on the ground floor with access to the pool. Each building has 8 rooms, 4 downstairs and 4 upstairs. This is the back of the building, and this is what the entrance looks like. Through the lower entrance you enter the 4 ground floor rooms, and through the other entrance on the right, up the stairs, you enter the 4 upper rooms. We had exactly this room. The room is large, 36 square meters with a large bed. Here you see its left side and its right side. 2 large, nice, backlit pictures. There is also a small table arranged, a mini desk. And there is the pool I mentioned. There are 2 sun loungers, 2 beach chairs, and a beautiful pool several meters long, which is shared with 4 ground floor rooms. Here is another view of the room from the balcony and pool side. And now let's measure the bed, which really was large. Almost 2 meters by 2 meters. The entire room is 4.14 by 5.5 meters. And now let's move on to the part we haven't measured yet, where there is the bathroom, toilet, and wardrobe. The bathroom. The bathroom is really decent. The hotel is brand new, opened in mid-2025. Only towels are changed daily. There is no such thing as slippers or bathrobes, as would be expected in a 5-star hotel. There is 1 sink. For a vacation, that is enough. And a very large shower with mosaic tiling. There is both a regular shower and a rain shower above. Of course, there is also shampoo and conditioner. Let's measure the bathroom. 2.30 by almost 1.75 meters. Directly opposite the bathroom, there is a closable wardrobe. There are shelves and hangers. There are quite a lot of shelves. There is also a safe. The size of the wardrobe is about 1.30 meters by 1.30 meters. There is a safe, but the safe is quite small. This is the smallest MacBook Air laptop, and it simply doesn't fit into this safe. Later, when I removed everything from the safe, the laptop fits, but not much else. In the toilet, we have an opening window with a mosquito net. A toilet, a trash bin, a sink. If you are interested in its size, it is approximately 1.30 meters by about 1 meter. I deliberately show toilet paper here as a strategic good, because in the second week for 2 days there were shortages of this paper, and we could not get it despite asking. The air conditioning works very well. You can individually change the temperature and airflow strength, and importantly, the air conditioning outlet is not located above the bed, as in most hotels, but on the side. The air conditioning does not blow directly on us. There is a mosquito net on the balcony. Curtains that effectively block what is happening inside the room. This is especially important when the pool is being cleaned. There are also blackout curtains. Very, very effective. Even during the day, they can make the room completely dark. And there is also water, which is replaced once a day. 1 bottle of water per person, because the water is not suitable either for drinking or for brushing teeth. And now let's move on to this fantastic pool, which makes an impression. It is several meters long. You can easily swim in it. And note that there is no fence around the hotel. The man you see there in the distance is a security guard. Security guards are located at several points and simply watch over the hotel. One more look at the hotel. It is worth knowing that in all the pools the water is salty. And the mentioned security guard, seen from the outside. There are several such points. The security guards are on duty 24 hours a day. At first it was a bit strange, but we got used to it. Right behind our pool there is a lighthouse, that white, monument-like structure. And further on there is a sports equipment rental. And when it seemed that the hotel was completely safe, one day we heard some noise, shouting, and suddenly it turned out that a group of people were running away, being chased by the police. They caught one person with some kind of bag, who probably had stolen something. Hotel security also cooperated. It was the police. On the beach, we also saw the police dropping off plainclothes officers who patrol the beach. Why am I making this video? I go on vacation as an ordinary tourist. I'm not some kind of traveler who plans trips a year in advance. I simply go to a travel agency, usually at the last minute, buy a trip and go. And every time I look for a hotel, look for a trip, I can never find any good description. That's why I decided that at least once I would make such a reliable description. From the point of view of a normal, average tourist, one that would give you an idea whether this hotel is worth your interest or not. When it comes to lunches, breakfasts, and dinners, they are served in the restaurant on the first floor. This restaurant is simply gigantic. It is very large. You can eat both outside here, as you can see, and on the right side, behind the glass, there are enclosed rooms with air conditioning. Despite the fact that there are so many seats, at the peak times of individual meals, sometimes there is nowhere to sit, because the staff cannot keep up with cleaning the tables. Let's now see what dinner looks like. A full dinner, what is served. At the opening, the staff welcomes guests with applause. I don't know why. Here we have a section with fresh vegetables. There is a kebab-style station. Here we have various types of ready-made meat dishes. fried items like fish fingers, dumplings, fries. Salads. I see caprese with dark beans, with cold cuts. And fish. Every day there are at least 2 types of fish, including tuna. Freshly made on site, fried. There is a lot of meat. There is also pork. Because there are a lot of tourists from Italy, we have a whole Italian section where we have focaccia, different pastas on that day. That's what they looked like. And of course pizzas, but pizzas go very quickly. They are very popular. Desserts. These are various cakes and pastries. Usually there are 2 tables with desserts. This here is the second table. Separately, there are always shortbread cookies and classic fruit. Melons, watermelons, pineapples. Classic fruit, oranges, nectarines, apples, kiwi, pears. Sometimes there are papayas and another kebab. This time, it was made of chicken. If we are celebrating a birthday or name day, we can order a special table. Upon arrival, the team gives wishes, singing. There was a funny situation here, because at the next table a girl said, "But today is also my birthday." She had not ordered a table or a cake. The team, the staff, handled it well, took a pastry, put a candle in it, and also came to give her wishes. Between around 9 p.m. and 9:30 p.m., the fountain show begins. It is very pleasant to have dinner in such a setting. Additionally, every day during dinner there is live, calm music, different every day. Here we are now watching another day. We happen to come during a holiday. Here there is a large cake with the colors of the Cape Verde flag. More fruit for dinner. And more meat served for anyone interested. Because in the second week, many French tourists arrived. More cheeses appeared. Also more focaccia. Here are more salads from another day. This is what the selection looks like. More mussels and other seafood appeared. We have cold cuts, salami, Parma ham, and tuna. Tuna, which is actually there every day. Every day we have at least 2 fish to choose from. However, practically for sure we can expect that there will be tuna, because tuna is, next to chicken, the cheapest meat to buy on the island. Here are additions to dishes, sauces, dips. We see salad served on another day for the meal. Another day, a different type of cheese appeared. And that next day, here are the desserts that were served. Here we see the interior of the air-conditioned dining room around 9 p.m., just before 10. The crowd is definitely smaller. And let's also see dishes from another day. It was a themed day, Chinese. We see completely different vegetables. Here another day, when the theme was sushi. And another selection of cheeses. And now dinner from another day, where the main theme was salmon. Here we see salmon salads with different degrees of doneness. Classic salads, dark beans, caprese, cold cuts. I think we have already seen these earlier. That day there were such desserts. It seems to me they had already been there earlier. At another dinner. And here we have Mexican dishes. That day there were also such side dishes, yet more salads, such as rolls and whole small roasted chickens. Let's also take a look at the Italian kitchen section. That day these pastas were served. Seafood, 2 types of mussels and shrimp, and more fish. As I said, every day there are at least 2 types of fish for dinner. This one was hake. Let's see what breakfast looked like. We most often entered by these stairs next to the pool. In the morning, the weather was still relatively cloudy, which was always the case, and then it changed quickly. Here I am showing you that you can also eat breakfast inside in an air-conditioned room. But after a few minutes, the clouds cleared. In beautiful, sunny weather, you can eat outside, and let's see what there was to eat. This was already towards the end of breakfast, which lasts from 7 to 11. Eggs obviously dominate, including omelettes made to order. Eggs dominate in various forms. During every breakfast, there are a lot of stewed vegetables. Of course, cold cuts, pancakes. There is also muesli, different types of milk, soy, non-soy, some sauces, a bit of fruit, and sweet cookies for coffee. At the end of breakfast, we see that something is still left. More has been brought out. There is still some choice. Of course, coffee and tea from the machine. In such a place, it is really a pleasure with such a view. Such a breakfast is a real pleasure. One more recommendation. It is worth going for a second coffee after breakfast to the very end of the dining hall, where there is a terrace, where behind the glass there is not much wind, where we can sit, relax, drink a second coffee with such a beautiful view of the pools, the beach, and the ocean. And now it's time for lunch. We came during peak hours, found a reasonably sensible table in a place sheltered from the wind, and let's see what was available for lunch. Seafood, 2 types of fish, some different meats, beans, shrimp. There we see squid and small octopuses, a set with boiled and stewed vegetables, French pastry, sweet yeast cakes. Here again we see the Italian corner with pastas, and many types of focaccia. Additionally, fish fried on site. As I said, there are always 2 to 3 types of fish available. Kebab. This was mixed kebab, meaning from various meats. Quite a solid selection of fruit. Smaller than at dinner, but it's not bad. Desserts mainly based on smaller cookies of various kinds. And if you are interested, here we show, for example, our sample plates. Chicken, 2 types of fish, fries, some beans. I think there is lentils there, couscous, and this is my plate. We see fish, squid, seafood, spinach, beans, and red beets. In a nice place, sheltered from the wind, after a glass of wine. It must be said that the wine is poured from a machine, but it really wasn't bad. Despite the fact that we tried very hard not to gain weight, unfortunately after 2 weeks I gained 4 kilograms. So that it's not only about food, I talk about the 3 themed restaurants that we can use during our stay at the end of this video. During the day, the most charming places are of course the pools and the beach bar and the beach. The beach bar is simply very nicely located right on the beach. 2 wooden piers lead to it. This is what it looks like inside. It is completely open. It's a bit windy here, but in the sun it is really very warm. You can calmly sit, sunbathe with a drink, rest, relax, total chill out. It was our favorite place. There are vendors on the beach who try to sell trips, scarves, souvenirs, pendants, the classics. They are not aggressive. They do not enter the bar area, which, by the way, has its own security. As you can see, it is busy, but there are also free places. During the day from 10 to 5, the beach bar also serves as a place where we can eat. I want to show you what was available when we were there around noon. First table, second table. Here, hot dishes, small snacks. Of course, there are also sandwiches and desserts. From regular cookies to shortbread pastries, there are also fruits, all types of wine, as well as sweet drinks and beer. Everything is from dispensers and self-service. On Saturday evening, the beach bar turns into a disco. Let's move on to the beach. The beach around the Royal Horizon Hotel is really gigantic. On both sides of the beach bar, we have plenty of umbrellas and sun loungers. However, this is a very windy spot, located at the very south of the island. If the wind is a bit weaker, there are quite a lot of people on the loungers, but if the wind is stronger, there are definitely fewer people. Many people cleverly make windbreaks, protecting themselves from the wind, which is cold. As for the sea, the entry is quite steep in some places, and there is a very strong rip current. The sea is warm, 21 to 22 degrees Celsius in January when we were there. However, this rip current really is strong. Look at this photo here. Personally, it seemed to me that I was in shallow water, but I really had trouble getting out of the sea. A red flag is constantly flying by the hotel, indicating that swimming is not allowed. Therefore, as you can see, there are no people swimming here, and there are plenty of free places under the umbrellas. If we want a great beach, it's enough to go to the right of our hotel. And there we have a beautiful beach, just like in the Caribbean. Beautiful atmosphere, plenty of free space, less wind, simply a charming place. We used it many times, and even though we were not from that hotel, no one made a problem that we set ourselves up there. It is a fairy tale place, with a much gentler entry into the sea, simply beautiful. Many people pull sun loungers right up to the shoreline. Here many people swim and many people walk along the shore. Even further to the left, we have Bikini Beach, a very nice spot with a bar and a private pool, and a beach on a stone island in the sea. Plenty of space for sunbathing. Nice bars like Bar Marley, or another bar divided into a restaurant section and a bar section. We also have a place where we can rent snorkeling masks or simply go for regular diving. In the other direction, we have the town of Santa Maria, where we have beautiful, charming beaches, calmer wind, simply beautiful spots. But about what attractions there are on the island of SAL, I recorded a separate video, which I invite you to watch, where I talk about where to find such charming bars, both by the sea and on the beach, which are the most charming, where we can find and enter interesting souvenir shops, where to rent a bicycle, or where to go for such a sunset. What the nightlife attractions are in Santa Maria, where there are nice bars, where you can go for a drink or simply dance and listen to live music. Everywhere we can get by taxis, of which there are many here. They are uniformly marked. There are both older and newer cars. To Santa Maria, it costs €5 or on foot, 20 to 25 minutes. To the right after leaving the hotel, and in the other direction to Bikini Beach, it is €7. On foot, unfortunately, it is far, because we have to go around a dune, and it is about 1.5 hours of walking. Taxis are safe. They have quite exotic decor. Taxis drive directly to the Royal Horizon Hotel. And about which trips are worth taking, what is worth seeing, which ones we went on and were satisfied with, I also talk separately in a video about the attractions of the island of SAL. Here we don't have enough space to elaborate on this topic, or whether it's worth, for example, going to walk in shallow water among small sharks. As for the internet, on the hotel grounds we have free Wi-Fi. It is not fast, 5 megabits download and 5 megabits upload, but it works reliably. It is true that there are occasional logouts, and every 3, 5, or 7 days you have to go to the reception for a new password. But the internet works, and you can see and take care of everything you want with it. If we go to the city center, to Santa Maria, there in all those bars, Wi-Fi is also available, and it works faster, from a dozen to several dozen megabits per second. Before leaving, I bought an eSIM card from the company eSIM, but unfortunately, on the hotel grounds, it simply didn't work, despite the fact that it showed 3G. It works definitely better in Santa Maria, because their eSIM really achieved very high speeds. I will mention local money. For €1, we get 100 escudos. 2,000 escudos is 20 euros. The image on the 2000 banknote is Cesaria Evora, a singer who made the Cape Verde Islands famous, and her image also appears on the 2000 banknote. The money worth taking is euros. With euros we can buy everything, everywhere. We don't have to exchange to escudos at all. Just remember that on site they give us change from our euros in escudos, which we must spend on site, because it is not allowed to take this money off the island. As for insects, before the trip, I read a lot about various mosquitoes. People took repellents, but on site, honestly, during the 14 or 15 days I was here, I saw a mosquito only once at the reception, and nothing bit me at all. I didn't see any insects. One person told me they saw a cockroach, but there are occasional flies in the dining room, or that strange little fly that was swimming in my morning coffee. I was on SAL in January. I don't know how it is in other months. You just have to find out. One important thing. After exiting the hotel to the right and then very close on the left side, we have Clinitor. It is a private clinic, very well equipped, and most insurers direct people here if they need medical assistance. On the right side, by the Hilton Hotel, there is a casino, if someone would like to use it. And a bit further there is a grocery store, Distry, small convenience store style, like a Polish Żabka or foreign 7-Eleven. We have basic products here. Vegetables, fruit, all kinds of food products, frozen foods, seafood. And there is Cape Verdean coffee here, especially coffee from Fogo, which is very popular here. It costs €7 here. In Santa Maria, it is much more expensive, so you can stock up here. As for the weather on the island of SAL, we were there in January for 2 weeks. The weather was, as you can see, practically constant. At night, 19 degrees. During the day, 24 to 25 degrees. It is warm, it is sunny. Out of 15 days, only 1 day had no sun. It is a bit like the Canary Islands, namely until 11 a.m. or even 12, it can be cloudy, after which suddenly the clouds clear and there is beautiful sunshine. Unfortunately, there is wind. It is windy, as you can see. It always blows above 30 kilometers per hour, up to 40, even over 40 during January in those 2 weeks we were there. This causes that at night, when it is 18 to 19 degrees and there is wind, it is simply cold, and it is worth bringing something warm with you. Some long trousers, a sweatshirt, so that you don't get cold in the evenings. Reading comments about this hotel and others on the island of SAL, There is a lot of information about food poisoning. We did not eat raw vegetables and fruit only after peeling, and we also did not drink fresh juices, and we had absolutely no stomach issues. As I mentioned, tap water is not suitable either for drinking or even for brushing teeth, although I know that some people brushed their teeth with that water and nothing happened to them either. On the day of departure, the room must be vacated by 12 noon. If you have an evening flight, you can use all hotel amenities until the end of the day. Food and drinks, you can order it at the reception, but only after leaving the room. You sign up for a time when you want to use the changing room. It looks like this. It is simply an empty room, but with a normal bathroom, just like the one you had during your stay. If there is an option to extend the stay, the hotel charges 20 euros for each hour. And now let's move on to the dinners served. In the evenings, the beach bar turned into an Italian restaurant. We ordered a bottle of Portuguese wine, quite good. For starters, we ordered parmigiana, that is baked eggplant with cheese and mussels in sauce. For the main course, we ordered baked octopus with vegetables and ravioli stuffed with fish. They were quite decent, tasty dishes. For dessert, we ordered the same thing. It was chocolate fondue, also known as lava cake. The next two themed restaurants are located right after leaving the reception in the main corridor on the left. The French restaurant Ovinhio, a very nice restaurant with a nice decor and a quite interesting wine cellar in the basement. Unfortunately, the table was dirty. The tablecloth was dirty after the previous guests. We ordered a glass of French wine each. For starters, we got shrimp in tempura and foie gras. Unfortunately, the tempura shrimp were full of sand, so much so that I had to leave the restaurant to rinse my mouth with water. The main course was attractively served. It was duck and fish on vegetables. And again, for dessert, we chose the same thing. It was apple pie with ice cream, simply a classic taste. Nothing that stayed in memory for long. Decent. And the third restaurant, Zaiko, an Asian restaurant. A bit more fusion-style cuisine. Very nice in terms of decor. We ordered, apart from a glass of wine, a chicken starter and meat dumplings. For the main course, we ordered the same dishes. They were pork tenderloins with wok vegetables. And for dessert, matcha tiramisu. The second dessert was ice cream on crumble with strawberry sauce and a small caramelized egg dessert. I hope this video will be useful to you, that it allowed you to decide whether it is worth going to this hotel or not. Making this video cost me a lot of work, flying a drone, and a lot of editing. So I hope you appreciate it. Like the video and leave a nice comment. And if you subscribe to the channel, you will give me a signal that it is worth making more such videos. I would really like to find such videos from other travelers, because as I mentioned, whenever I go on vacation, I spend hours searching which hotel is worth considering and paying for. And you know how hard it is, because people, one small thing, and people already write negative things. Or there are only superlatives, because hotels encourage posting such reviews. There is a lack of real opinions, without any pressure, simply how it really was, so that others can benefit and make the right decision. Thank you very much.